Also, unfortunately, we have not shared the number of these documents already with us because of the challenges that we are facing. Before I get into having the other paper of today's meeting, I want to welcome the administration of this place to give us a word of welcome and also give us directives where we can. But I want to thank you so much for accepting to host us in your school and in this venue. And thank you for offering this. Please take our word and thank you to the administration that we are so grateful and happy that you gave us this opportunity to be sitting here today. Please, you can have us a word of welcome and also give us directives where we can. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you very much. I presume it's still moving. My phone is off, that's why so good afternoon, members. I am really grateful to have an opportunity to be among you people. This is a great group of people, and as a school, I want to say you're most welcome. This is a humble institution that has existed for not more than 15 years. We started from Kate, for those of you who know what is there, that structure, the display school. We started from there until when God gave us this place. And when we received your requests, we were humble because of all the places in Amuru, good places in Amuru. We decided to choose a humble, small place like ours. We were really, really humble. And we are grateful that you chose us for the meeting. We hope your meeting will not be interrupted with our adequacy. We are human beings, we may not be able to give it 100%, but please accept whatever little this school can provide for a smooth flow of your meeting. I bring you greetings from our country director and the head teacher, who is not here with us. I'm not the head teacher. I am here on his behalf, and we are all grateful. And
call to order, roll call that we have done, the declarations, and now we are going to the approval, which is item number 4. Item number 5 is addressed by the chairperson of the region. Item 6 is suspension for expulsion of a member if applicable. Approval of the minutes of the last General Assembly is item 7. Item 8 is activity report that contain issues from the General Assembly we had on the 4th General Assembly in Kwale. Then presentations of consolidated and revised financial sheets, profit and loss statements, approval of the financial statement, approval of the budget, admissions of members if applicable, votes of the proposal of amendment of our statutes, issues of governance if it is applicable, discussions of proposals submitted by the members. If it is there, then dismissal of a person or anybody if it is applicable. Any further item proposed by the members or the executive of Northern Regional Football Association, then we shall go to address by the invited guests of FUFA, then we shall go to closure. Those are items in our agenda. That now takes me back to item number 4. Thank you so much, Senior, for reminding us. Through that, please, we are going into the approval of the items in the agenda. We'll start from you, Auction, since you reminded us now.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Chair, having received this agenda on our forum before today, and having read also through again today, and having seen that it is in conformity with the FUFA standard agenda, I therefore submit and request that we approve this to be our guidance for today. I submit.
Thank you. There is a proposal by option. It's a proposal. Yes, Buffon.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. According to my colleagues, Mr. Hobson, who proposed that agenda is correct. But from my side, I've never received an agenda. So, I don't know how I'm going to also second. I don't have an agenda with me.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, also members in the room. Since the agenda has been read, though we have problem with technology, we would have been seeing it physically, and I second that we should move ahead.
The motion has been seconded, and also I would encourage us that in the forum of the Annual General Assembly, we have reshared these minutes again. Some people are not in the WhatsApp group of the General Assembly. Okay. Maybe we will have to call in people, but we have reshared the item. In the agenda is item number 5, which is unaddressed by the chairperson. Ladies and gentlemen, at your various capacity, I want to take this opportunity to, in a very special way, welcome you to today's 13th Annual General Meeting of Northern Regional Football Association, here taking place in Amuru. Within my address, we shall also have other people come in to make speeches within my speech. And in that special note, I want to welcome the chairperson, District Football Association of Amuru, to give us a welcome and let us know how Amuru District is. You know you are the healthy one.
Chairman, you are welcome.
Very brief. Just as I said, probably there are other people that will also come in during my speech. Dear delegates, just as I said at the beginning that you are welcome for this meeting, also want in a special way to still welcome the brothers that have always been with us, Brother Rashul. Thank you for being part of this region, not only during assembly, but every time you're in this region. And we want to say thank you so much for choosing to be part of us. Also, in a very special way, I want to welcome Brother Swagger, that every time we need you, you are here to technically guide us and ensure that things that are happening in this region is to promote football and to promote the interest of football. You are most welcome. And to the chairperson of District Football Associations, members of the special interest groups, the delegates from different football associations, we want to take this opportunity to welcome you as on behalf of the executive of the region for this meeting. My speech is divided into 3 different areas that I think at the end of this we want to share with you. Is my speech is on governance, my speech is on sports, my speech is on business. As that is how it is divided. In governance, from the time we had our 12th General Assembly in Colin, we have been in position to, one, improve on the relationships that is between the region and the district football associations, and that internal relationships that is also within the district football association, and also the special interest group. We have had a number of meetings with the special interest group to amend the relationship. We have also moved to different district football associations to amend the relationship. And also now in a special way, the former president himself, together with the executive members, came in this region that also had a meeting with us together with the district football associations, together with the district sport officers, that we seems not to having been working together with the district sports officers. But I want to report now that from that visit up to today, we have had a very smooth activities of football associations as well. Still in governance, the challenge that we keep on having is not having as a capital investment. That as a region we know this is an investment that we have made. This is an investment that we can be proud of after tomorrow. Also, we do not have a reserve money or reserve financial base that if we have a challenge, we can say, okay, we have this reserve is where we are going to land and probably handle with these issues. That also poses a bit of that challenge, especially even with the executive, that we are not been able to have physical meetings with the executive apart from having either the online meetings to ensure that things move out, and also that trickle down to having an interactions with the district football associations, meetings with the clubs, and also meetings with the chairpersons of different district football associations. On governance, we still continue to face those challenges with the use of the different hubs that FUFA has developed, TMS, CMS, and the online. Already my brother of the chairperson is talking about here, having a number of talents not tapped because of the challenge of what? The national ID. Now many of them have also expired. Those ones who had it has also expired. Now those pose more of the challenges than the one that we had, because even the few that had the national IDs, probably their national IDs are expiring, but some of those things are beyond us. Might also be beyond FUFA, but I know they will get a better way. Also, when we had the meeting with the FUFA president, he made mention to us that as FUFA, they're looking for a way of trying to ensure that every person plays football, especially the challenges that is faced with the issues of national ID. And that also some had made our competition not as stiff as we could because of that. That remained a big challenge with the competition. Some of the district football associations have not yet acquainted themselves with how to register club, the players in the system. And so there are some districts that we know they now can do this. I mean, it's all these trainings that we have been having. There are those other districts that cannot yet do these trainings or put the players in the system. And that is why some districts face challenges with playing 4th division, because it's a requirement that they must register in the system. It's also with some, still with 3rd division clubs, we also facing that challenge. But we hope with the many engagements, we should be able to have these clubs continue to move. During the roll call here, we still had districts that is being represented by only the district chairpersons. Because there was no elections in those areas and there has never been by-elections in those areas. I am happy that our executive members are here, 2 of them that sits in the General Assembly. I think the issue of having by-elections should be something that we should take seriously. I want to give an example that when we had the elections, we only had 11 districts that participated in the last elections. That means 6 districts did not participate in the elections. And the leadership vacuum still remained there up to today. When we are talking about representations in the other district, we are talking about the chairperson of the District Football Association. Where is Mr. Remery? He's the only sole person from Lira now because there was not election in Lira. The chairperson of Amuru, there was no elections in Amuru, so he remains alone as a person who took it. There was no election as a person who took it. No District Football Association, not even represented by one person in this meeting. Why? It's because there has not been elections there. And then we have Agago, only represented by one person. We are only lucky that JJ is from there and is representing the third division clubs. He's not directly from there. Then Kitiku, nobody, completely. Now, we have a number of challenges when it reaches issues of how do we play football in some of those regions, of those district football associations. Who to contact, who to say please help the clubs, becomes a very big challenge. My brother Rashu, I also want to report to you that much as we were elected 4 years ago, some of us, probably because of either work environment, or because we get tired of football, or because we lose interest, or because there are even district football associations that election took place there, but people have abandoned. You call for delegates, there is nobody. Who is currently the chairperson of district football association? You are the elected person who was elected there. That one left. Yeah? So when now you want to contact Guru and Itaknik District Football Association of Guru, that they have to sit down and say, now, that the chairman is not there, what do we do? Please let me organize ourselves within us to have things do what? Move. But we even have those deals in other districts that people have abandoned their responsibilities that were elected. So that also makes things a bit difficult for us. The chairman of Amuru is here. I know my Amuru is another district. When it reaches issues of governance, is a different district altogether. In fact, now that our next move has to be tomorrow, because if we don't move there, the persons are having diverse challenges. So, those are things that we continue to face. So, I highly recommend that issues of the by-elections should be taken seriously, so that we have this done. We also still continue to request that we have received a number of requests on several occasions on the Blue City and then the Red City. That now that the city they want to become and football associations. Not being, take for example, Blue City is under Blue District Football Association. They now want Blue City and then Blue District Football Association to be different associations. It's also the same thing with the leader, but I know it is across the country. It's not only with us as Northern Region, because there are a number of cities that will also, I know Rashul will also share with us how things are in Western, because they also have a city. And if things are moved on the operations of the district football association still continue to have a bit of some challenge. All of us were invited, a few people were invited the other day to meet the FIFA president. And one of the questions that was put forward is, boss, you promised us some small thing in our account. We have opened the account and we still wait for the small thing to come in our account. And that is why a number of them have not been able to hold their AGMs and then discuss their football issues at the district football associations. That can be also be forwarded to us for further discussions. Because according to our report, only 3 district football associations were able to sit down and have their meetings as district football associations before getting to the regional football association. I also wish to remind all of us that we are supposed to be subscribing to the region for us to be eligible to participate in this assembly and also to continue to be a member of Northern Regional Football Association. So different districts, special interest group. Please, we need to go sit down and then do the needful so that we are able to move. I have seen these reactions. I think we have 100% said we have been defeated. Technically, we have been defeated. In sports, I just want to give you an update that we have continued to build human resource of the persons in this region. The conscience is being represented here by the chairperson. Chairman, you're welcome. You're only being represented here because during the elections, the conscience association was not active. And so you don't have the delegates that were elected to be representing you and your team here. We still don't have the conscience of CAF A and then CAF B. Inside here, it will be my pleasure to see all of us inside here. For Moko 1, we still have 100 plus. For Moko 2, we only have 6 people who have done this for Moko 2. But it's also, I want to interest us that if you have an opportunity, the Vice President was speaking to us the other day and was thanking those who are putting in their own resources into football development. That please don't wait for our free things. You also invest and then have some of those certificates. They are very good. The chairperson of the referees is here. We have the referees grade 1 now. We have 8 of them. Thank you so much, Bonnie. Referees in grade 2, they're about 15. Where is he? Amuru. And then also together with my sister, thank you so much for doing this. The stewardship, I want to thank in a special way the national delegates, Mr. JJ. He took an initiative, he did not wait. So for us now, when we go to Nambole, our security is even guaranteed before we reach Nambole because there is JJ who is trained to what? Stewardship. I will also interest us that some of those courses are important. It is our prayers that tomorrow when there is a Kibwa build and there is a big match there, we don't want stewards to be coming from somewhere. We want to be coming from where? From Marseille. So can we interest ourselves in some of those trainings? We now have about 60 plus people. So that is on issues of the human resource. I want to thank so much Mr. Jue that is heading the assessors, that we have 5 assessors and then 1 instructor of the referees in this region. I want to say thank you. For the coaches, we still have 0. For Mako, we still don't have any instructor. So I think moving forward, we need to interest ourselves how do we get inside there and also have the instructor so that if we are calling for a course, that we want to have stewardship, then there is a DJ who is an instructor. Please go and help us. We want to call for this, there is this person who can quickly help us to move forward. I had initially already talked about the district in terms of sports. That is my last speech. But now, do the work. It's only about 7 out of the 17. I mean, 10 district football associations. Still, when they are doing their things, they have either to run somewhere or to Gulu for calling to help them in the system. I know you are overwhelmed, but try to help those who cannot do this, so that at the end of the day, football is being played. The update is that we concluded our regional football competition very well. This time around, we promoted 1 women football club to elite club. That means our elite club now in this region for the women goes to 4 clubs from the 0 when we entered in the office. That is a very big achievement. I have continued to tell my brother Rashul that we will continue to beat them in men football. In men football, we are represented but we lost the game to West Nile for the first time since they came as the chairperson of this region. But we'll get back, prepare ourselves much better for the next season opening. We are represented by Northern Gateway at that level. We have also participated in a number of sports, the Odilo Championship, that we are waiting to go to the national. We're only waiting invitations. I want to thank the DFA of Agago so much for preparing for us, the boys, and then Colin. Where is Buffon? Thank you so much for preparing for us, the girls that participated, and also they became the champion of the region. We also want to thank so much the schools that participated in the FUFA TV Cup. From round of 64, we were beaten in the semi-finals, and then we became number 4. So when the whole country, we start from 64 and then end up at number 4, it is a very good representation. I want to thank the traditional schools of Gulu High that participated, Laibi School, we had Sir Samuel Becker, and then also Kitgum. For this actually sub-region, Lango is heavily represented here by Madam Helen from Maduko SS, who participated in that, and then also we had Lango College, who eventually represented us as the champion of the region, Komboni, and then DOC at that level. I want to thank so much. We are still the champions of the FUFA Drum. That is Lango. I want to thank the brothers of Wacholi so much for supporting. This continues to be our competition, and we want all of us to hold. When there is a game in West Nile, we are holding West Nile to support. When there is a game in Acholi, we are holding what? Actually, when there is in Lafu, we all move there and support. And then we'll make a name by some of those competitions that are coming up. We need to somehow struggle and ensure we are ourselves. When we go in terms of, we also hosted the Krena Mutima. We want to thank FUFA so much that there was a Krena Mutima games here that we hosted. We have been hosting the FUFA president here. In fact, we now call him the person of this region. On a number of occasions, he has been able to be here and also participate with us. Uganda Cup, where is Emily? Please first stand up. The lady standing up was a surprise in the Uganda Cup with the Pajula Lions being from nowhere, and they were hitting people up to wherever, up to the semi-finals. Yeah, and the Kitara was the one who eliminated them, and then Kitara became a champion. If we had beaten them, we would even be the champions. They won the challenge also now. The hosts. Even Kitara is not going to play where? In Libya. They hosted their game in Libya. Now for us to host the game in Libya, that was going to be a different thing altogether. But at the end of the day, first of all, you can be the champion, and then the hosting is the next thing. We see it later on. But when we have first started with that, at that level, we are represented by Choli United, Pajule from this side, and then we had Northern Gateway and Tawad from the other side. Some of these competitions, we have made it in such a way that if slots is given to us, take for example 4, we form in such a way that the 2 teams are coming from Acholi sub-region, and then the 2 teams are coming from, for purpose of representations. We have tried to do this so that we can have those balance. Just like in our assembly, now we are in Acholi sub-region here, we expect the next assembly to be the other side. When we have the other side, and we continue to move to all the districts. When the executive were making these decisions of let's go to Amuru, are we going to go? Are people going to go? But we are all here in what? In Amuru today. The next time we are going to move is who have not hosted us. Yeah. Okay, we shall hold it there. as long as we are here as a team, because a different person can come with a different vision and maybe might not achieve that. But we intend to have this assembly is moving everywhere. We come in here. I have just reached this environment, and I told someone my boy is in P4, and I'm thinking when he finished, he's coming here to study here. What? If I had not come here, would someone tell me there is a restaurant and you would believe such kind of a school exists here? Probably not. So we will continue to go there and learn at different ways. If you don't want, then you will not go. But if you want, you will go for the love of football. We don't have a team now in the Premier League. Now we have a task of seeing how do we get a team in the Premier League. At the big league level, we have 2 clubs now. Black Power based in Iran. Then now you have our brothers of West Nile. After getting by the Black Angels, they gave us our warriors. Say, okay, you guys also have 2 there. For us, you have 3. You have 4. You have 3. Okay, now. So they have 2 here, the other side. Now, brothers in the Acholi sub-region, we have the task to ensure that we do the mobilization. I have been discussing with the Dan and the executive of this region that one time the former president asked me a question that I did not answer. I told him in our culture, you don't answer anything anyhow. He thanked us so much for having supported the FUFA drum. And they said they have learned a lot from FUFA drum. The next question he asked me is, if we make Langa Province the football club, will people support the way they're supporting FUFA drum? If we make Acholi Province football club, will people support the way they're supporting Acholi Province now in the FUFA drum? I want you people to give me an answer because it might make a follow-up. Will we support? Do we see a possibility of people supporting it the way we are supporting now? Remerina, please share with us that experience you're talking about.
Football very correctly through radios, through what? Because we want to see Villa also coming, KCC also coming, other big teams, so that we see some. At least that we start from there. Please, let us not give up. Let's move on.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think that answer can be yes. If I was to give that answer to Mr. President, I would say yes. Reason being, our very own players who are in the FUFA drum can still be the players in the team that can play at the league. The people can support using the same strategy that we are doing to mobilize the community to come and support FUFA drum. Except the management may come in as a challenge now, because we know very well FUFA drum, how it is managed, cannot be the same way that the team that will play either in a big league or in a Premier League can be managed. We have different attitudes. Actually, people do have different perceptions. Most of us are there in FUFA drum in the management because we have massive collections. That is one that we need to have. So we can have the team for FUFA drum as a club, as you ask a question. I am assuring that we can support that team. If at all we sit and then say we shall have it as a team. Thank you.
I observe the protocol. To me, I'm giving 40%. Why?
40% of the no or 40% of yes?
Of no.
60% is yes.
of course, if the way I'm going to make it, if it is supposed to be either 80% or 90%, these players should be selected from all the districts which are in that region. That one would now sound.
Is it a practice now with the forward?
Yeah, of course. Most of these players are coming from nearby districts where we are coming from. Either will be residing in Gulu, but is a bona fide of the other district. That is what I can say. Thank you.
Okay. It could be very possible if we had resumed our league for the Land Cultural Foundation. I remember Ufa offered at Fopi for Lao to play, and that club has never been played. So if we wanted to organize a club from Lao, people would support it. Let's begin with that Fopi. So that different class in Lao first play, then we come out with a team. They will support.
Then we won't succeed. It means being a team, then we succeed.
We can't support this. We have to borrow from Kitara now, you see. Just from nowhere, people are falling to what? In the pitch. Can we try to borrow that? Can we mobilize ourselves? And first of all, start with the teams that are available. If all of us say, okay, we are going to support now our team is going to use budget, the Arua Hills. We are first calling it Arua Hills, but very soon when we submit, please, you change the Arua now to be.
There's something I can tell you about that.
Okay, fine. So that would be good, but let's support the teams that are available. Maybe the last one, and then we can move forward.
And then when the president asked me such a question, I too will also post a question to him. Because if you look at the club, now if we change this club to be as a club, this Fofa when also Fofas themselves allowed only the tribe, because if you talk of club, we have also Bagandas, other tribes to be mixed up. Will they also only accept those who are playing Uganda Cup to be back as a club? Will they grant that permission? If possible, then we are allowed, and it will make it sense. We shall support, and we also be behind them, and we also mobilize our people to support too.
By the fact that I happen to be the Vice Chairman, National Teams Technical Committee, matters that comes with the clubs. When you look at FUADRAM, there's long-term plan and then short-term. When you look at FUADRAM, it is based on short-term. That is very, very important. Something that, if we want to have the clubs that have collapsed in Northern region, basically it was planned based on short term. They never included the long-term part of the planning. So, it is a very good idea. Secondly, we have players. I have been in FUADRAM and I've been advocating that in all these provinces, for instance, Omedi Dennis came from FUADRAM. The success of Omedi was attributed to FUADRAM. If we want to move forward, let us look at options that includes young players needs to be incorporated into FUADRAM. With the region, we can guide and say, please, minimum we must have 7 players who are below the age of, between the age of 17 to 20. As long as we still keep on having players who are above 25, 26, 27, in one way or another, we are going to have problems with progress. Secondly, all these fights that you see in FUADRAM, it is centered at money, the issue of money. And that is why I'm telling you, we were in football. Some people don't want to see us there because we are accountable to FUFA. But as long as we are still in management, we are going to be in FUADRAM. Whether through the front door or the back door, we will still be there. Because when it collapses, The challenge is, as we have seen, it comes back to chairman and me and us all. Sometimes we even find executive members and delegates for chairperson DFS even struggling to even access the gate. And it will be the football people. The challenge that we have also in football management, we have to respect the offices in football. This is very, very important. From the DFA, okay, my boss here, I said I end it there.
From the District Football Association, that one of the things that you need to do is to be submitting your report of your league in time. That also gives us time to submit in FUFA. Because if you don't submit your report, there is no way that football is going to be played there. We have continuous to face that challenge of some DFS fail completely to submit the reports. I already talked about technical, the system things. The FUFA Junior League under youth football has not been able to take off because of the challenges with the academies. Now we are facing challenges with the dealers. It's not just like last time where FUFA would send some funds. We now don't have any funds that is coming. The issues of paying the referees. Now for the last 2 seasons we are still waiting. Whether it will come up or more than women football. We'll continue to play, but we have not received any money in women football. Those are some of the challenges. Business-wise, our revenue has been able to increase this time from 5 million to 13, especially funds coming from the FUFA drum, percentage that is shareable, the regional league clubs contributions, and also the fines from there. The increased funding from FUFA to 50 million shillings, also increasing that. We have also tried our level best in branding and then being visible everywhere. We are trying now to look out for the sponsors and also trying to look for money that can be able to support what we have. That is why today, in terms of the branding and visibility, I also forgot to inform you that we are live on different channels as the assembly is going on. We are being watched from different areas from whom I want to thank so much. Abel the man for being here and doing that for us. I want to thank all of you for listening. We have not received any legal issues that would have us expel or suspend a member, and so we move to item number 7, the approval of the minutes of the proceeds of the last General Assembly, the 12th General Assembly. I will want to have 2 people who looked into our minutes, and that was Juliet and my brother Mr. Amara, who looked at our minutes, and then to confirm for us whether the recordings were true, so that we can move to the next level.
All the delegates, I went through the minutes of the last assembly. It was well recorded of what transpired in the AGM in Kole. Although few corrections were made, and it was received. I reviewed it and it was corrected by the CEO of the Northern Region. Thank you.
Thank you. Tamara was now going to say that and then move the motion as someone who checked in and ensure that it is what we discussed. Yes,
I personally looked through the minutes, and I was together with him the day he was doing that, and I request all the members that comply with us. Actually, we are independent when we are doing our work, and the colleague lady who was also doing her part, we communicated to one another. The areas that were highlighted were perfectly corrected by the CEO. I therefore request that we pass this minute.
Thank you so much. There is another motion on the floor. I'm waiting to have somebody's answer if the minutes is to be approved. Yes, senior option.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. And to second the motion.
Thank you so much. The seconder is from Amuru. Yes.
Protocol observed. I do second the motion. Thank you.
From Amuru, thank you for seconding the minister. I want to remind him of the name.
Colonel Francis Part, delegate.
Thank you. Our minutes of the 12th General Assembly has been adopted. We'll move to activity number 8, which is the activity report. Members, in my speech, I mentioned a number of things already. That is part of the activities that we continue to do, that we carried out in the last, from the last time that we had our assembly up to today. And so a number of those activities are already into my speech. The way I've tailored it from football, we have been able to play all the mandatory, the regional league, and then different football associations playing the 4th division leagues. So we should be able to support. My only argument here is from the district where you come from as a delegate. Why you are called a delegate is because you are representing something called football. Can we ensure there is football being played in our district? I one time had a very rough discussion with someone who, in a meeting, stood up and said, in the Ira district there are ghosts. Members of the referees are coming from ghost clubs. That is a very big statement if people who manage football hear such kind of thing. And I think there were people put to ensure some of those things are followed. When you say ghost football club, people are coming from, are they in the system? Are they playing illegally when FUFA don't know those clubs and the rest of the things? But there are statements that don't need to make them so much when we are putting some of those things. Yes, Maurice? And that will also now go together with the approval of the budget. Unfortunately, IT has failed us completely. I do not know how we are going to be handling this. How do we handle this? Okay, I will try to go through it, and then we can see how to handle some of the things that will come from all of us. Okay, this concern will be addressed at the appropriate time. We have received well. Members, from the assembly of Kole, we have been able to receive, that was before the assembly of FUFA of Kole. Our local revenue from that time up to today was 8,276,000. I would request for those who want to just to write for purpose of us going into the other part of the accountability. That is our local revenue. From the FUFA is 22 million Uganda shillings. The money was spent on 4 different items. Administration was 10 million shillings. That can 10,605,000. In governance was 12,750,000. Training and development is 1 million shillings. Competitions is 5,921,000. On to those monies in the first one, which is administration, we paid the rent of the office at 3,500,000 shillings. We paid the salaries of the officers, the 2 officers we have at 1,800,000 shillings. The stationaries now we put them in back. We want to divide it in the same way at 800,000 shillings. The internet that we use at office at 1.2 million shillings. The repairs and maintenance of the equipment we have in the office took us 1.6 million shillings. The water and its dispenser we have in the office took us 205,000 shillings, and then electricity at 1.5 million shillings. That will total to the 10,605,000 that we talked about in administration. And then we go to the next one that I told you of the governance. We have the executive meetings that took 2,750,000. That is the executive of the region, and then the General Assembly took 10,750,000. That takes us to the breakdown that I gave you in terms of governance, 12,750,000. And then the trainings, now already told you it is 1 million shillings. And then in competition, majorly we are contribution from clubs. I told you of the local revenue that we received from there. We had the referees transport refund. Much as FOFA pays the referees, but we give them the transport for them to go and officiate the game and then get back. That was 2,155,000 shillings. And the license, which is also from the clubs direct, is 1.2 million shillings. The airtime facilitations, 310. That is now for the people who make those appointments and the committees that handle that. And then the regional league finals that we had in Noya, that home of Young Elephant, took for us 1,356,500 shillings. When you add up that, it brings you 5,481,000. Though we received last year. I was reminding the District Football Association. I was also reminding the different special interest group. This is part of the revenue that we are supposed to be getting, but it is not coming up. And then the local revenue, we have put at 10 million shillings. We think contribution from the clubs, FOFA drum, percentage, and any other funds that will come up will form us. That will take us to 61,600,000 Uganda shillings. We plan to spend out of that money, spend 15,600,000 shillings in administration. In governance, we plan to spend 16 million. In marketing and communication, we plan to spend 6 million. In football development, we plan to spend 10 million. In competition, we plan to have 11 million put in there. And then the office of the chairperson, we plan to put in some 2 million shillings. That will total to 61 million. 600,000 Uganda shillings. That is our budget that we thought of presenting to you so that you see. It's nearly the same budget that we had last time, but we received both the money I told you only, but we continue to hope that the different sources as we budget will still continue to move a bit up. with the financial aspect of the accountability that I have given to you, where we can have the discussions about it and then move to the next item of the budget, where you can call for any other adjustment in the budget so that it suits the interests of all of us who are into football. Thank you. Any discussions on the accountability of the monies received? Welcome.
In the house, Dennis Ojoy is my name. I was finding it a little bit difficult to say a word because unless if other members received the copy of the budget earlier. But I thought procedurally, we members would have received copies of the budget since we come to talk about it, so that when we rise up to speak, you saw it, you went through, just like the minutes. People would have read through, and personally, it's my conviction that I find it a little bit uncomfortable to say yes or no. The budget can be good or bad. It could have been under budgeted or over budgeted, but now the ingredients, I don't know how members feel, but I think, yes, it is very easy to say yes, but now we do not have the details. We did not go through, we didn't have time to go through the budget. So, personally, that's why I will be quiet. I don't know how members feel that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Because it was very fast also, I could not capture everything. But you did not tell us how much was spent on that financial year and how much balance is remaining. Because from my calculation, I see there was some balance still remaining in our account which could be carried forward this financial year. That would prompt some discussion. Thank you.
That's very good submissions. Still, unfortunately, we are failed by the IT. That is why we are doing things in this manual way. Two, also the little money that we received, we looked at it. This was something that we used to print and give to everybody. But unfortunately, the finances could not allow us to do all these things. And that is why we thought the IT would do as good and have this so that it is displayed here. But still, I am going to ask the CEO to share with the whole of us. This is our public document. This is the document that we hold as delegates with the different emails, or we are going to share all these presentations that we are making here, including the minutes, including everything is already here. We shall share that with the whole of us. Now, on the other part of the accountability thing the person is raising, I made mention here that we received the money and then spent under different things all together, and I was giving according to what is spent under which category. Take for example, when we spent 5,481 into the competition, and I said that this was majorly contribution from club. This is referees taking 2.1. So when you have the 5 million shillings plus the unless my mathematics is not very well, but I think it is nearly totaling to what we received and what we have spent. But of course, at the end of the day, there will always be something that remains in the waiting. We cannot have complete spending to zero of our account. But I think we want to promise that this is going to be shared. I want to thank Senior Ojoy for this. We'll try to do this together. But also we had a challenge that even the budget we had to, because it's the executive that go through this, and we only had our executive after receiving the money. The whole of yesterday for us, we did not sleep. We were moving in some of these things to ensure that we come and then make this presentation. So we could not share till when the executive of the region sit down and look at some of these things before it is brought to you for the discussion. Coxon, I see you want to speak.
and advise that maybe next time or now we can adjust this budget which we are putting to put more money on administration and governance, so that these documents are printed and sent to members of the assembly for the actual sitting, so that the pass through. When we come here, it is very easy to do that and to avoid exactly what. This is what is also done by FUFA immediately under FUFA will belong. I also think even our banner there is talking of 11% and let this is 30%. Such are the things which we need to put more money, so that when we are coming, we put the correct thing and we don't look unique. Having said that, I'm requesting members that whether we have the document or not, we cannot make the region be without the budget. Can I request and submit that we approve this budget with amendment so that it becomes a working document for the region?
And also first Vice Chairperson of the President. In contrary to what my colleague has said, I also want us to think about how fast we can receive information and how fast we can react to some of the information. The world has come so far. If you had to receive this document this morning in a printed version, how would you interpret it within 10 minutes? So we should even be able to appreciate the role the ICT is doing for us. So we received the document 2 weeks ago, and maybe some people did not receive it, right? But they are aware about the assembly. That would have been an issue to raise an issue that where are the convocational documents? That would help him, because he's not digitally connected, to have a copy. So we cannot say we're going to be, these excuses are going to be every year, every AGM, complaints about receiving a copy of the document. Let's try to advance, gentlemen, and also try to bring in our submissions. There are no proposals. I understand even there are going to be no proposals written because we didn't have the documents. We had proposals for development come from the DF. The delegates were, we need proposals from you. You don't get proposals from here and react. Right. Okay. So unless we do that, that's when we are going to have those DFs very active. More clubs are getting into football. You know, youth football development is coming up in your region. I think I'll come about youth football later on. But I want us to embrace digital work, okay, so that we move forward. Thank you so much.
I actually want to thank everyone for coming for this special assembly and discussing numbers of things. I would not also differ from what people have agreed on the budget and the accountability. However, it becomes a little challenging on having nothing to report well home. But I think the next meeting will be better, because always in football there is room for improvement. However, since we are now moving to the new budget, I think I didn't pick so well on our premeditated businesses that we have to also help raise some reasonable funds as Northern Region, because we cannot really just wait to only look at few sources of income, that is from the clubs and FUFA. I, in my own view, think as Northern Region, we also have a very open market for our products to be put in market to the DFAs. Like I can put, for example, if Northern Region can also be printing their own t-shirts and we bring it down to DFA levels, can also raise for us some finances that would increase our budget. Because if you look at the budget of only 61 million to run the whole DFA, it really makes our work to be a little compromised. Two, I have this special request I think I need to put to you, Chair. I know you have few delegates, but I don't think whether you even one-on-one knows the delegates that you have been working with in the last 4 years, because the level of interactions with the with the delegates, the district delegates, is very low. I must really put that in to your attention, because most cases when we try to connect with the executives, you find it's very difficult for executives to be listened to And that one really demoralized works at the district level or the DFAs also so much. You have said the delegate has to make the district active, but without the support of executives, we should be aware that that one will not be very possible, or they will not have a very big or special backbone. So in the next maybe the period to move on, I think the executive should also try as much as possible to come nearer. You know, these days everything is about service delivery should be taken down in the community. So if we keep ourselves so up there, it won't really make us put football to the grassroots. Thanks a lot.
March. Yet the international match we have a clear schedule and calendars. I'm trying to request through the executive who are here. Cooper must have a clear roadmap. Where are we beginning and where are we ending? When are we ending? And which field? Where the final will play? Because when you just come from nowhere, that today you are going to play there, tomorrow you are going to play this day, it brings some confusion. To some extent, Lam would not even attend their last final. This must be taken care of. Otherwise, at the moment, Lam still don't have a clear fund base because of that issue. They nearly abandoned that game because of those schedules. We must be clear with a clear roadmap of Cooper Draft. Otherwise, that was the only game bringing people to play football well. That is what I wanted to submit.
Mine I will be brief as I've said. The first thing, we are running the games of football well. As the referee, I want to put some issues. If you look at these games, we don't have security for ourselves, which it is dangerous. Someone to move and you go there, you will be instead, you go and play the game, you will go there and you find that there is no security and you are in the hand of the players. And once whether you make the correct decision or not, be ready to run, which is very dangerous. Therefore, we request the office, please, next time when the season starts, let us have security for ourselves. And then another issue, and the natural referees are here, very many, as you have said, you have appreciated us as we are doing the work, but some of them are not being given matches. They are just there with the badge, and what for? Why should you be called like that? Rather to be dumped out, rather to start another journey. And then another issue, this regional league, we have very many assessors. You look at these young girls and young boys within around here, they are coming up and they want to show their potential. But you find that when they are playing here with roll, with everything, perfect, no one is there to motivate them. No one is sending report, this girl is good or this boy is good. And where is that passion will be going? Nowhere to go. Please. Let us see these referees who are coming, more especially this the young one. For us, we have HF, we are bringing others. Because for me, if I'm retiring, I will make sure I bring another one to come and replace me. But not if I'm bringing that person who is there to assess. Only the footballers, the spectators to just make noise on them. And they will not go anywhere. And that's why you see some of the good referees will just drop out themselves because there's no one to motivate them and they should move ahead with it. Please, the office. And then another issue, Mr. Chairman, these regional games, we are also finding challenge. When you are given appointment, you know, with the referees, we have to save time. You will reach there, the players will come. At the end, when you want to kick off the game, you will hear them, we don't have all the licenses. Who is supposed to give this license to them? It is you, the office. When you have given the permission or you have given the license, you warn them that if you are there, you don't have the license, you are not qualified, please don't delay the game. Because some of the games are being played very far. And remember, we don't have specific transport for ourselves. Therefore, when we are going for it, we should manage time and we come back earlier to our respective places. Please, take note of that, because if the game will be given to me, and again they will say, we call the chairman, for us we are, please, the DFA chairpersons, you are here, take note, because if you take your team, and the license are not that you are supposed to call the chairperson region, and we should first wait, you will play your game without the referees. Please.
They have been in football, they have helped us in playing football at different levels. So we'll observe a minute of silence for the departed souls that were in football. We have Mr. Otim Alan, commonly known as Adidict, who was a goalkeeper. He played for Northern Gateway, and his time of his departure, he was playing with the Light club at the regional league. We also have Mr. Ochien Emmanuel, who plays in the Dokolo District Football Association with Honodul. And then we also have Tony Blair Okello, who was playing in Amuru District Football Association. We also had the accident that happened when the team of Lango Province were from Dokolo, that we lost 2 children who were very good supporters of football. And so we give a moment of silence for their soul. May their soul rest in peace. Thank you so much. You can assist.
Protocol in place. Representative for FIFA President, the National Executive from this region, ladies and gentlemen. I am called Kenny Swale. I am the FIFA Member Associations Officer, managing the 34 members in FIFA, Northern Region inclusive. I have tried my best to attend your AGMs because issues you discuss here are very, very important. Football. And I wish you continued like this. To appreciate ourselves, please, may we clap our hands for them. Thank you very much. Like I said, for purposes of time, I am going to be brief. Some of the issues I'm going to talk about are issues Mr. Edgar Watson, who I am representing here on behalf of the FUFA Secretariat. Some of the issues will come out of my observations here. In brief, I will say, to begin with, generally, FUFA member associations have the issue of technological phobia that has been talked about here. They fear to educate themselves in technology. I wish to make this appeal. Like it or not, today you cannot avoid technology. And when you try to avoid it, it will lock you out of football. That's the challenge we are facing today. The best way we can encounter it is by educating ourselves in technology. Let's educate ourselves. If it is TMS, let's find a way of learning TMS and go with it. There is an issue of, yes, Mr. Chairman mentioned it, for love of his people. Can't they be allowed to register even after the deadline? Mr. Chairman, when you set that precedence, you're going to face it rough. Now, Mr. Rasul Adiga, who is an executive member of West Nile region. Yesterday I represented Engineer Moses Magogo in West Nile, and we traveled together for him to come and do the same as I did yesterday. Ladies and gentlemen, let us give credit where it is due. As far as Northern Region is concerned, we have come from far. And the only good part is Northern Region, we as Northern Region, at least we know where we are from and we know where we are heading. We might not be 100% sure, perfect in everything as far as the expectations are concerned, but let us learn to give credit where it is due. I stand before you here as a former player, former Cranes player, as a former ex-international, and as somebody who loves football. Why am I saying this? It is because when the chairman was receiving this region, it is still on record that we received the region with the one sack. I don't know where that sack is up to now. Right now, we have a fully functioning regional office that have staff who are working for football. We can only move and achieve whatever we want to achieve in life. One, if we are honest. Two, if we are united. Three, we can always have disagreement, but the disagreement should not affect football. We should always disagree to agree, such that football cannot suffer. Why am I saying this? It is because we have moved, I cannot say 100%, but miles. And in the next 5 to 10 years, we are going to be at the same level like other regions. Not forgetting that we are coming from the war that has affected us for the past 20 years. People were in IDP camps, football could not be played. But in one way or another, ladies and gentlemen, we are moving into the right direction. So please, and this is because each and every one of you here has at least played a role to see that certain things happen. Me as an executive member, I am nothing without your support. The proposals that are generated from the regional assembly, that is proposed to the executive, it is because of you. Secondly, allow me to get back to answer one or two issues raised here. One, the issue of quadram. Whoever is involved in quadram, not to bring confusion, people need to understand the rules and regulations as far as these competitions are concerned. Sometimes the media gives wrong information. Sometimes the media gives wrong information to the public. For instance, if a media person goes and says, they have taken our players, you're going to work on, and you are making a very big statement, somebody deep in the village is not going to understand that this tournament is played basing on players who are in different respective clubs. It comes back to us to give this right information to people. About the referees, we have done everything as a region. The chairman referees are here. Chairman, CEO, and Swality. We have done each and everything. We have the assessors qualified Mr. Dre is here. We have Oula and many others. And the banana could do, you don't want to kill me. One ticket referees on them, Congi white. When they get the badge, after acquiring the badges, instead of training hard, without getting fight the bed. Previously, we had about how many numbers? 9. How many national referees we had previously? 12. The numbers went up to 19. Me at 10 minutes. I won't imagine. Porogina right, jogging a na kay iba. Don't wait. Let us speak the truth. If we want to move this region to the next level, let us speak the truth. Porogina right pelare. Dala pero mana leki na de. Ekere you gonna be a cocky. Hey, go hey, job down. How are you going to get matches when you have feet? I want to be honest to you, Swale, and President representative here. We have referees when they acquire the badge, they become lazy. Just recently, they failed miserably. That is why I'm so proud of being right, Kabisa, Mr. President. One record. So, referees who are active, be an example to the upcoming referees that if you want to be a good referee, you must train. You must train. You must look after yourself. We are not going to allow you to have we are not going to allow you to be appointed and you go to embarrass us. More so on TV. So, ladies and gentlemen, please, all we need for us to succeed is your support. Give us support 100%. I am glad my brother Port Fimbo is there. He raised the issue of the office. When Swale was answering, you were outside. The office of the regional development officer, it is in Gulu. The purpose, it is okay, the office can be in Padre, it can be where, it can be Lamu, but it has to be functioning. Because people need service. So, ladies and gentlemen, and comrades in football, on behalf of the national delegates, the regional executive, if there is something that we have not done right, I am asking you to forgive us. Reason why is because certain things at sometimes are beyond our powers. Engineer Moses Magogo is committed to making sure that we have the best services. But as well as saying it here, sometimes the cash flow and the financial implications at the federation doesn't allow certain things to go as planned. And I can tell you, the federation has not recovered from the effect of COVID up to now. But it comes to us, we cannot sit. Let us define a way how do we generate income for this region. It starts from the DFA, it starts from each and every one of us who is here. I am still in this office. The chairman is here, and the general secretary, and everyone. I will do whatever it needs to make sure that football in Northern region moves to the next level. But I need all of you. I need your support. I am somebody who has only two things. One, if I miss your call, I will call you back. But I always pick up phone calls. Finally, in every community, even a family, there are issues among family members. The issues among family members or football members should not affect the development of football in this region. It should never at any one point affect the football development in this region. Because having brought football to this stage, it will look very, very bad if we allow football to go back to where it was. Thank you so much. I am also glad that one of our brothers, Honorable Rasul, is the head of finance at FIFA. We can only build from what we already have. West Nile, Northern Region, and Northeastern, we are one people. Let us not break the block that we already have. Because tomorrow, the foundation that we are struggling to put now, it is the foundation that will define the future of the children who are down deep there. These children are supposed to represent Uganda. I feel very happy when I see Dennis Omedi, when I see Mohamed Shaban, when I see Alionzi, when I see Timothy Awani, when I see Alan Okello. These are our own people. We should be working very hard to see that how do we raise these other players who are upcoming to replace this one. Because whether you want it or not, you will play football and live. If you insist, you will die there on the pitch. Some of us, we played and we wanted to, but time comes when you start smelling blood. God is saying, you are blocking people, get out of the way. If you insist, he calls you. So let us have the heart of unity, let us have the heart of sharing, let us also be able to communicate among ourselves. Positive communication is very important. Let us stop reasoning basing on assumption. We should not assume that something is supposed to be the way you think and yet it is not. This is very, very important. Because we are going to move Northern Regional football with only unity. When you are united, we are going to move together. Besides this, also let us not forget to pull our colleagues. If you see that Otuga is struggling, Amuru is struggling, please volunteer. Go and bring them. Let us move together as a family. Football is not for the greedy people. So, without consuming a lot of time, you forgive me if I've gone beyond the estimated time. With the authority mandated to me, allow me at this juncture to invite the former president, Mr. Rasul Ariga. We call him General. For me, maybe I'm Lieutenant something, also I'm Major, but he's a General. He has been part of us. He has been so helpful to us. Because West Nile, Northern Region, we always want to be one. So that if we put our hands together, we can bring something good for this region and for West Nile and for Northeastern. Remember, unity is key. Thank you so much, Mr. Rasul. You are most welcome. I take this opportunity now to give you the floor for you to talk to your people.
Who's the media who's able to cover this event? My name is Ariga Rasul. I come from West Nile. Because I'm an executive member of UFA, like all of you know. UFA is sitting in the Office of Finance. I chair the Finance Committee. At the same time, I chair the UFA Circle of UFA. Because we want also to empower delegates. It's important that we also look at their welfare. There's nothing that we can do for them. We encourage the delegates to do savings. But at the end, the same savings they have will be able to empower them in terms of other services that they need from the federation. So I chair that committee. Because coming to national and international organizations, I'm the vice chairperson. I want to convey greetings from the former president, William Magogo. He loves the people from this region.
get in fact convey this message. So Chairman, I want you to receive this message on how people of West Northern Region that the President has conveyed this message. President greetings here. I want to thank the Chairman, the able leadership here, the executive committee members for bringing this event today that is witnessing the growth and the development of football in this region. I think from the deliberations, from the feedback we are getting from the members, I think there's a lot of change from where we started to where we reached. Because it's all about development. Development is a process. It cannot be achieved in a day. And we always do evaluation of what you do. And I think what you are doing today also enable us to perform better next day. Although there were gaps here, these are gaps that we can easily bridge. But also I want to appeal that as a person, as me as a regular student, can make mistakes. And therefore a chairman of the region like LPO can make mistakes. In case he makes a mistake, and let's come to him and tell him the right way. But chairman we thought to have been this way because we want the northern region to grow. Today we are speaking here, even I have come here to chair the president on behalf of the federation. But I'm a son of this place. It was the northern region that gave birth to West Nile. Today I'm an executive member because I got independence from the northern region. But no one knew that one time from northern region I would be an executive member of the chair finance committee or chair. As soon as I met this people and the region of man, and that wanted to be an executive member, the other people that wanted to be an executive member, where the things are done. That's the simple thing that we need to understand. But there is Western people who are grateful for the independence to vote for me and for people from here who have allowed us to know who is the region. The challenge we had here was not because people were not writers, but we had a challenge of geography. And the place was so big. Coming from Morava border up to Gogolo was an everything. So it gave us a lot of folks and we said, listen. I need it as help us today. And the diversity we have here, it was going to be more difficult for us to operate. Thank God that today we have two different regions. And of course, now when it came to the provinces, even we said, no, let's split the same northern region into two because of other factors that we say we can give autonomy and learn. But as the West Nile, we are region of diversity, we cannot split. Because if you go to West Nile, there are many tribes. You have the Lud, you have the Kakwa, you have the Lugara, you have the Eko Kebu, you have the Mahdi, you have the Eringa. So in a smaller region like this, we say we want to give province to all of this one. It was going to be difficult. So we thought we must remain as a region called West Nile. So that name was given by the Queen, and we also want to respect the Queen for giving us the name West Nile because we say you are at the west of the Nile, you must stay there. That's why today we are here. So Chairman, I want to thank you very much for this event. But however, my question and my appeal is that this event comes once in a year. And I want to request people must give time for this very important event. Because you cannot plan for an event for a year and you come here and say for an hour you say you want to go home. Football needs time. And football must be discussed. And it can easily only be discussed here. The chairman called appeal and the entire executive committee members say I will not follow you at your home to discuss home. And that's why we have agreed, they have agreed that the venue must be in Amuru, the venue must travel here. Now why don't you give us ourselves time to discuss football today, that by the time we go home, we go in with a clear mind that we know how football has been managed, than coming here perhaps to sign an allowances and go home. I think that's the challenge I want to pose against towards everyone who was here, because it's very important. Members, I think, critically, if you follow from the chairman's communication, I think he talked about the Trinity. I mean the hat trick. Because when he talk about hat trick, he talk about the governance, sports and business.
And from the background that I've got from him, and perhaps it's the same thing that all of you are doing as the GFS. So I do not want to talk about that again. But now, if we are going to talk about that trick, which means we are growing well, and now, what should have been our challenge? We have players across this country. When they go, we hear Opio, Okelo, Omedi, they are playing football. But when they are here in the northern region, they are not playing football. What should have been the challenge? We have referees here. If you take the laws of the game, the first law says field of play, isn't it? The second law says the ball. The third law says the players. As a region, where are our players? Where do they play from? But elsewhere, if you go, you hear our people, names from northern region, play football. But specifically, what's the challenge here in this region called northern region? We have the field of play. Everywhere you go, you see a very green surface. That's a requirement of the club licensing. But who are you making use of these facilities? Where are they? We have an assembly here. We have structures that do exist, that is being led by Honorable Opio, who is the chairperson. We have every executive committee members here. We have done what OC said, the FIFA executive committee, deliberating about football development in this region. But where are the players? Where are they playing from? Where are the teams? If this question can provoke all of us, after this assembly, I think we are going to be changed person next year. When we are coming for another assembly, we are going to give better response about our performance here. When OPO is relevant to explain some of these things here, let's not just come and hear and say these are his own issues, and when we go back, we just forget. Let's support him. You know, he's carrying a very big weight on him, and some people don't see. But now, why do we do this? When I look at my data for last year, or the issues that we are looking at, I was even discussing with the vote here. In the data last year, what happened in the northern region was like as follows. We looked at the teams that were in this region. In the Lango sub-region, in the 4th division, we had 25 teams. And 10 regional league teams. In total, we had 35 teams in Lango sub-region. If I'm wrong, you can cross-check with me. Of this Lango sub-region, there are 9 DFAs. There are only 4 active DFAs. Now, if you only have 4 active DFAs, where do you expect people to play football? That was Lango sub-region. If you come to Achol sub-region, were the 38 teams in the 4th division and 11 in the regional league, totaling to 49. But over this long, in Achol sub-region, we have 80 DFAs, but only 6 are active. What about the 2? How do you expect us to play football? And yet, if you go to the region of West Nile, we have over 176 teams that were involved. What's my role as an executive member of this region? What's my role as an executive member of the region? What's my role as the chairperson DFA? What's my role as a national delegate in regard to this? I'm called a leader simply because of competitions. There's no way nobody is going to call me an executive member from West Nile when there's no competition in the region or call West Nile. So members, are we doing what we were mandated to do? That's the question I want to pose to us all of us here. If these records are wrong, you can check with me, but this is a database I have from the competitions, and of course I thought we need to stay here. But I don't know whether it has improved this season, because we just ended the transfer window, the primary window on 19th. We hope for better, because this affects performance. The chairman, before I discuss the other issues, the chairman has raised a very important issue here. And it also equally to affect the West Nile. When the president was for his tour here, we are very stubborn secretary staff who want to do things deliberately failing the government. This team moved to the president assuming that they had carried all the balls. They came here, the balls were less. And we expected them to do the same thing in West Nile. When they reached there, the balls were not there also. Even we had quarrels, chairman. I want to testify that even West Nile teams did not get the balls the way you are raising. So we are following the balls. When I went to Kampala, the balls were out of stock. But we have ordered for more boats. They are coming. They are putting them. They are shipping them via Mombasa. The moment these boats arrive here, chairman, we are going to give the teams their boats. It's a promise. Let's not get worried that these boats are not there. They want to appeal to my brother Dan. Let's follow up this. For these boats are. It was a pronouncement by the president that we must give every DFA its ball and the regional clubs 10 balls. 5 balls. And these teams must receive their balls. And that was the gap that we had. We have issues of the pledges that the president made. And the reason why we are here, we also want to hear about the pledges. At the appropriate time, I think I will want to meet chairman and he will give me the proper update of what pledges the president made here. That we are able to discuss with him. As the chairman is going to come for the General Assembly, I think some of these matters will be solved. And it's a promise. This of Uganda Cup not being paid, I don't know which Uganda Cup games were not paid, apart for the last season, but the other Uganda Cup prize monies were being paid. And it's a good concern in South Polo. But as far as I'm concerned, these prize monies were being paid, save for this last season. But the previous seasons were all paid. I will confirm the ISA and the records. I will update here. The issue of the registration of players, I think that's one thing, it is affecting everybody. Well, even in the executive Dan is here, we have discussed that we want to present this issue to the General Assembly, where some of women members are going to be there. That we want to request, let them allow, the Assembly allow us to do offline registration for 40 division clubs. That we struggle with the regional league clubs, big league and Uganda Premier League. But the 4th division club, we must allow us to do offline. These people must be allowed to play football. And it's going to happen if we shall be supported. Like you remember, Chairman, the other time we communicated that all 5th division must be done what? But people play. So we are looking at this to ensure that let's set off. The 4th division clubs, we must allow them to play football. Because we cannot be called leaders when people don't play football here. So this is good enough. I'm getting the feedback here. It's the same cry we have. I think I'm going to take it seriously. It will be addressed. This of players, you have issues of players transfers. Chairman, this affects every region. People engage players. When these players want to move, people don't allow them to move. You find players these are women you have married. I think that's not proper. The rules are clear. The rule says that an amateur player plays in a team for 2 amateur cycles, isn't it? Then once the player stays for 2 amateur cycles, this player is mandated to move if he or she fails to move to another club. But the people will hold on this player. They will even say, Chairman, give me 2 million before I release this player. And the regulations are clear. Every season before the season starts, we send you rules and regulations. I think the CEO has the data. And it is my belief that the CEO sends this regulation to clubs, to DFS, to internalize and understand the rules better. I think I would encourage that. Let's do that. I was looking at when I sat here, my observation is that this region, the clubs, they need capacity building. I think it's one thing that is done. Let's take it serious. From the language, both languages here, from the responses I've been getting from members in this assembly here, there's a need for capacity building. Of course, now it was our cry that when we elect members like this, they must be taken through orientation. I think it's a clear sign the members were not oriented. And that's a clear justification. So I think with the help of chairman and the CEO and my colleague down here, let's work so that we do that. Because when chairman was presenting the budget, he was raising the issue of FUFA giving them 50 million. You are aware when in the Moroto, the national delegates were here, chairman, you are inclusive in the receipt. In my presentation as a financial person, we said this 50 million will be broken to two. There must be non-condition and condition. The non-condition will go grant 25 million goes to the regional account. The other grant must go in this forum, in this category. One, we are needed to pay the regional development officer. I don't know where he is, but in the absence of that office, but there will be a person that will fill that office that we are going to pay this person 750,000 per month. Out of that 50 million, we are saying 9 million will go for that person for a year of 12 months, isn't it? We said we wanted to acquire standby power source for the region because the CEO needs power. Times CEO cannot depend on the Yaka and the other things. When the power goes off, you must switch on the generator. And we had a budget of 4 million that it must go for the region, isn't it? We indeed, in that same breakdown, we said 10 million will be used for purchasing equipment, the equipment in forms of boards. And these boards can be managed by the region. Of course, the 2 million was earmarked for the what? For the capacity building. I think that was the breakdown. I don't know whether I've reminded you well, members who are here. And that's the breakdown of the money. Now that we are sending some money, we shall continue sending the balance. I think the most important thing here is now, the moment you send this money, we don't want this money to be abused. There must be accountability. And in fact, we wanted to target to that. But when I was presenting this in finance, those who done said, no, we need this money. So I said, since you need this money, we shall give. But we are going to enforce that. As the region, if you give you this money, you abuse it, we shall not give you this money again. Not our regions here, the other regions elsewhere. The moment this money is sent, chairman himself will appear on the CEO of the city, they divide this money with some executive members. Elsewhere, not the northern region. That's the experience we have. So we want to attach this thing to budget and accountability. And we are going to do that. So that's one thing. But the issue of the Arua Hill, it was so embarrassing when this was presented in the executive committee that Arua Hill is shifting to Gulu. But since they started the negotiations, even the owners of Arua Hill called me. I said that for me as a person, as an executive member, I have no objection. Because this team of Arua Hill is moving within the northern corridors, it's going to Gulu, where also once we are from, we have no problem. So there was no objection. What I did was I mobilized my own delegates to say, let's allow the team move. But now my challenge was now when they are calling Arua Hill in Gulu, I said, no, this cannot happen. We cannot say a team is Arua Hill in Gulu. How are people in Gulu going to own this team? Arua cannot be in Gulu, isn't it? Even before the UR people wrote to change the name, we decided to change the name ourselves. So if they are going to write through you, we are going to do ratification. We have done this, we have instructed the CEO to say, we have changed the name to actually what? Actually United. As I talk now, nobody must call it Arua Hill in Gulu. It's now actually United. And that's one thing me as a person have done, in the absence of done where you were in Ethiopia, where you are not there, because on your behalf I did that. So I said, now let's change this name. To actually United, the people must own this club. And therefore my appeal is the chairman, mobilize your people to own this club. The people of Gulu, let's own this club. The reason why we want this club here is we want to develop the talents that are here. We want to give opportunity to our boys who must play within the region. Now, you cannot say all the time your players are following the teams who play in Lira, in Arua, in Kampala. Let's have our own play here. So, in that regard, I want to appeal that let's jealously protect this team called Arua Hill. It shouldn't go back even to regional league. Instead, it must attain promotion to go to a better league. And that's tomorrow we say, well, a big league team here, Uganda Premier League in Northern region, actually South region. And that's my appeal. And this must be our last General Assembly. The next Assembly is elective. Assembly. My people of Northern region, my appeal is, let's preach the gospel of teamwork. For us to sustain what we have achieved here, we must work as a team. But when we start fighting, we are going to break everything, and we are going to start from zero. If football politics is not like the other politics there. You can have this one today, tomorrow you'll have another person, you still continue. But with the football politics, it's so unique. Tomorrow you're going to send a different person, apart from Opio, either these ones who are seated here. This person is going to learn. He's going to discover a lot. And it breaks down the region. Because now if someone is still going to learn, then it's a problem. I think for the first time, some of you, when you reach there, you must have experienced this. So my appeal is, let's be advisors to each other. And in case you are doing something wrong, let's advise than criticize. That won't take us far. Besides that, also we have two parties here. We have the secretariat who are hands-on. For the politicians, like the chairman, the executive, ours eyes on. So as we are doing that, let's do our supervision roles and do not cross to do secretariat work. And the same note, I want to caution the secretariat staff here. Let's not do political work. If someone is really recruited by OPO or with the recommendation of OPO in these offices to help the region, let's stick to the hands-on activities here. These political issues elsewhere in the DFS must not be done by you. Because at the end of it all, we are going to even subject some people to say that let's also follow and investigate whoever goes in confusion in the region. So I'll leave a director supervising this security staff at the region. Let's tell them to do the right things. And as we are going to task Edgar and whoever, Mando, Caesar, to ensure that we also do the right thing. We don't want confusion. Let's football benefit all of us. Football can accommodate all of us here. Someone is a CEO, he cannot be a chairman. Someone is a chairman, he cannot be a CEO. Someone is a delegate, cannot be anything. So let's serve our mandates from the various settings we are in. So we do that and we are going to succeed as a team, as a region. But if you are going to cross everywhere, we are going to cause confusion. But now in that regard, what should have been the cause for confusion here? Why have we started as an executive member? Why should I come and do the CEO's work? Why should I come and do the regional development officer's work? Why should I do the referee's work? Why should I dictate on the referees when they go and face matches and say, this is my interest? Why don't the teams here attain promotion on merit? So, we have a lot of challenges here. I want to call on this, and it's my appeal. Edgar is supposed to do appraisal of all staff that are involved. And it was our mandate, it was our decision that regions are poor. We must pay these CEOs at the national level. It was a decision that we took. We knew that OPO cannot raise money to pay a CEO. But we said, let's pay them as a federation because they are doing work for us down here. So, do us the right work. We don't want to hear this issue here that some delegates have been failed because of the secretary staff at the regional offices here. We don't want to hear that. And this equally, we don't want to hear that delegates are fighting the CEOs because they don't want the CEO because of their own interest. Let's work together. After all, we speak the same language here. Is there any Muganda here who sits in this office here? Members, are you getting me? We want harmony in this region. Where we have come from, where we have reached, needs harmony. It needs teamwork. It needs consultations. It needs advice. We're not going to behave like that. Let's not be hypocrites here. When you see me laughing, I think what my mind tells you is a different thing. That's very bad. And I want to appeal for that. Chairman, the budget is authority to spend. There's no way you're going to spend money of the region when there's no budget. And I want to thank members here for approving the budget, saying that it must be approved with amendments. So let's respect these honorable delegates for doing that. Because in the good faith, that they know without this approval, they're not going to do anything. So it was clear from your experience that the gadgets failed you. But next time, let's prepare in time. Because this event is known, it was scheduled that on 22nd September, this assembly will be conducted here. In that regard, CEO, we should have empowered the chairman with all the facilities necessary to facilitate this assembly. We are going to come in with the hard copies of what you are going to present and everything. And I want to also request, if some of these delegates have WhatsApp groups, let's share this information in the WhatsApp group. Where I come from, West Nile, I'm a member of finance committee. In simple terms, even I do the budget for this region. Because if they have challenges, they go to no WhatsApp, let's say the budget out, it must be done. Simple. Now, why don't you involve people like Dan, people like JJ, people like Santos, people like Lalele, people like Atom Peter here, to be in these committees? In any case you have challenges, they help you. So when we come here, we don't want to come and disagree on certain issues. We come and discuss and approve things that we are supposed to approve, and we go home happily when we have done better things for the region. But where you sit in a meeting, a general assembly like this, you see people raising hands and starting raising issues, you must know there's a challenge of involvement, the challenge of inclusivity, the challenge of lack of teamwork. So let's desist from this. Let's make the Northern region exciting. If you look at the team, the players that are involved in the national team, people have respect for this region. Like Dan was emphasizing, or maybe nobody knew who was going to be a better player. You have sacrificed and you have mentored him, you have developed him to that level. People like Musa and the others are coming. I think it was because of your commitment here. And therefore, when people see you, they see you with a lot of respect. Now, when you come here, you don't respect each other, you want to antagonize. That's not true. So my appeal is a respect for each other. Inclusivity, involvement, and therefore the rest will be work. You have structures here. You have the DFS who are there. You have the regional delegates who are there. You have the regional executive who are here. You have the national delegates who are here. And you have the national executive committee member. Who is here, Dan or what? So, if we are going to link proper, there's nothing wrong that we are going to fail to achieve. That was my observation, I think, as far as the issues raised here are concerned. We have the master plan. Because they were soon selling the master plan. That once we were called, chairman invited, some people were invited to discuss the master plan that FIFA has. Basically, in the master plan, we are looking at 4 things. The mass football. That is the dream of FIFA. That in every home state, people must be able to play football. And in that regard, the chairman, I think FIFA gave us balls. Well, balls that we are supposed to give to regions. And as a chairperson, you need with the help of Kenny and then let's come with a plan and how they can come and issue these balls, the primary schools here. They may not accommodate all the primary schools, but now you need to talk to your fellow sports officers and identify which schools can be given per DFA. Because you are around 17 DFAs, these balls must go to those schools. Because that's the hub of football, and they are feeder. Because you cannot play the 4th division clubs when you don't have primary schools. Most of these players who are playing the 4th division are coming from where? From the schools. So we are starting from the schools. These are balls given by FIFA. They are there. We have them in a container at the technical center there. So chairman, to a proper time when he mobilize the sports officers, you come on the schedule and inform Mojong and Ali Mwabe how they deliver the balls here and what the modality is likely to be. They will give you how many balls they want to give for this region here. But it's important. And that's why I want to emphasize the issue of mass football. Every home state must play football. In the master plan, we were discussing about the elite football, the same professional. That's why TD was talking about the youth development here. So, in that regard, people, though they're involved, they don't play for money, they just play for leisure and the development. That's why we have various teams that are involved, and these teams, most of these teams are involved in the youth. That's the elite level. Of course, we want also to want professional, pro clubs, pro football. People must play football to earn living. Football is no longer recreational. It's all about business. You cannot play when you don't earn from it. So we want to encourage that you must also talk to our clubs. That's why we want to give teams in the big league, region, Uganda Premier League, to exist within every region. That is the boys, our own children must, our sons and daughters must reap from the game that they have been involved. Above all that, we must talk about life after football. Danny played football. He was introducing himself as ex-international. If Dan did not play football and he did not go to school and was not a better person, he would not be an executive member now. Well, we refer here. There's life after football. There's some who played football and they are referees. Ojo is here, is an assessor. There are people who are instructors. He has gone to do safety, stewarding and for safety and skill and safety here. Is here today. It's life after football. He's going to earn out of it. So, we're emphasizing that. We're saying under the master plan, we'll look at 4 aspects: mass football, elite football, pro football, and life after football. So we thought this must be emphasized because we want people to benefit out of this. You are aware our mission is clear. We develop, promote, and protect the game. And how do you protect the game? That's why we have come with the initiative and we have introduced the FIFA TV rather. The FIFA TV, the main idea was basically to protect the game. How do you protect the game? We want to protect the game against frauds. Many of our referees have ended up doing wrong things to promote other teams falsely. But now if you're going to play that the TV, we are going to follow you. That's protection. I'm not saying our referees are bad. But also I want to appeal, when you are given assignments, tasks, let's perform, let's do the right thing. We don't want our own referees to be suspended and they are given ban, which is very bad. And it's affecting us as a region. So why don't you do the right things? No. With the now technology we have now, Dan can call me and this can be traced. And we have investigators now who are doing this. For us, we have known some sensitive games that have been involved and they always send our investigators. They follow, they track you. And that's why you see some people have been suspended and they're suffering. But why should we involve ourselves in those kind of things? So we want to protect the game. And that's why we have introduced the what? The TV. The FIFA TV basically is doing that. And of course, we want to thank you members for being involved in FIFA TV. Chairman, I was personally in Nigeria when Lango was playing the semi-finals and the 3rd place. I went there as a Lango because I was telling Dan I would come here to spend. But thanks Lango College for being a very good team. And if you are going to follow, those are people who are not being exposed. Now with the exposure they got, I think tomorrow they are going to join better clubs, they are going to play. But however, the FIFA TV Cup also has its own rules that they don't want to give chance to people who are playing in the clubs. They want to give chance to those who are not in the clubs. Which means those players who are playing in the TV, and typically those who have never been involved in the serious clubs, they have given a provision of 3 or 4 that must be included in the TV Cup. But the rest are non-club players. But they played very well. And because from Western Nile we had the St. Charles that they were injected early, but our own from Lango, they continued up to the third place. They played very well. Let's encourage them to do that, that we have better players in this region. We have the Odilo. Odilo has a lot of challenges. From where I'm coming from, they have been raising this of the calendar. At times, the schedules do not rhyme well with the primary games and the national champions. And we are doing some review, so that it must fit within the calendar that is fit for the primary schools. It doesn't affect any one region. It affects all the regions because the school activities are all the same. So we are going to improve on that. Things, the feedback that we have been getting there. We emphasize the issue of the community clubs. And the chairman raised a very important issue here, was asking, if you are going for one club, how are you going to maintain that? Let's not be rigid. Let's not think about that. We are talking about a community club at a higher level. Because we want people to play football. That's why we are talking about mass football. If you are going to say now we want one for Lango, what about mass football? It's going to be another choice. It's going to be a difficult thing. So, what we are going to do is we must look at how we are going to do this. And it's the policy that, in fact, the president is interested in seeing that we must have a community club that is being owned by everybody. We started with Paraka, we tried, we are almost failing. Now we have gone back to Paida Black Angels because when you go to Paida and talk about Black Angels, everybody wants to listen to you. But if we talk about another club, people don't want to hear you. So it means the ownership, the identity. Paida Black Angels is very important. So we could do the same here in this region, in the Chols Tabu region and the Lango region, which team can be supported by the community to ensure that we sustain it for long. Because it's a requirement. Now, as a delegate here, even it's a requirement that for you to be a national delegate, for you to be a regional delegate, you must come from what? A club. So if you are going to say we want to support one club, all of us are going to come from where? So let's continue with our own programs of promoting clubs within this region, but there's need that to have one community club at a higher level that will own it as a region. I think that's a very important thing that we want to emphasize. We have issues of the drum. Members, the challenge of drum is the challenge with drum is people don't follow the structures. Chairman, yearly you have been sent circulars that you must consult these members to consult the management team, the drum team for the provinces that you have, the two. In the circular, what is entailed is that you must have people from the political wing, you must have people from the government, you must have people from the cultural institutions, you must have people from the religious institutions, you must have people from the media, and the fund, and FUFA itself. Now, where is the problem here? Besides that, you must have a technical team that must also be consulted by the same region, by the same management committee to manage the team. But now, if these are very many positions here, how do you fail to absorb our own people within Lango and actually sub-region? Where is this confusion coming from? And who am I to come and tell chairman, I don't want these people of yours here, and yet I'm the one who sent you the circle? What should have been the reason? I think in Germany you have a task. If you think if there's a problem of an individual, let's know. We put it to our attention. You must understand this. But as far as the drum is concerned, we say drum belongs to the people of the particular province, either region. So, why is it bringing a lot of disrespect amongst ourselves here? Why are we indulging ourselves in the issues of Lango and Choli? Why don't you allow actually people to do the work and allow people to do their work? We may be having interest, but we cannot say we want this and that. I come from Imbe. Do I know who is capable here in this region of actually the language? But what we want to appeal is, let's allow the right people to do the right thing. And all these things have been done with your guidance as the chairperson. Because you sit in this region as the chairperson. Whether Lango or Choli, you must supervise this and advise chairman and you executive committee members here. There's no way that someone is going to take this mandate from you, that we are going to do this minus involving you. This executive committee here, you must pronounce yourself on this regard, that this is our position. And there's no way you're going to manage the drama without the delegates here. Because there's a sort that FUFA. But who is this FUFA person? So, I was once in Akibwa. I came there to watch a drama because I brought my team West Nile. I was moving with the Dan, my colleague here. Reaching the gate here, the Bamsas said they didn't know that Dan. I was even surprised. The whole executive member of this region, Bamsa does not know him. So Dan was asked to produce an ID. I laughed. Because I couldn't believe. And that was embarrassment and disrespect. And whoever is involved in the drama management of language that chose, that's very bad. How do you disrespect the person who represents you at the National Assembly, at the Executive Committee of FUFA? And when it comes to getting things, they say they don't know you. That was bad. So let's use this program to unite our people of the region, the two provinces here. We must use this to promote our own silence within the regions and the provinces that we are involved in. And let's allow our people to participate in the management, in the other aspects. Because I think there's lots of few, but let's allow the few who are being mandated and given the mandate to do their work. We shouldn't consult the drum issues with the people in Kampala. Let's consult ourselves. Because it's our own initiative and we must ensure that it is protected. There's nobody from Kampala who knows Lango and Echoli better than you people here. And also I want to appeal that if one of you people are given a mandate, you must be supported by the executive committee, either the delegates, whoever, that we are able to succeed. I'm glad that